Hey guys, I'm Coach Andy with Louisiana Gridiron Football. I'm joined here with Eric Randall and Marcus Randall, the Randall brothers here in Baton Rouge. Before we get started, go ahead and subscribe right below, and that way you can subscribe to all our YouTube channels and check out all our videos that we always put out. Eric Randall, you were in the Hall of Fame at Southern. Can you tell us about how all that conspired?
Well, I'll tell you what, it had a lot to do with the type of guys that I had to, the opportunity to play with. And I had a great coach over there at Southern at that time. So you're talking about Coach Richardson, you're talking about Mark Orlando, who's still around. He's the offensive coordinator at Grambling. He's been around the entire SWAC, as well as some other HBCU conference, MEAC, and so forth. So we really had a good group to come in there. So I guess, they go out and they vote, and I guess I did enough to be selected one day into the Hall of Fame. But it was, it was a good experience, though.
Well, you had offers coming out of high school at Ohio State, big time offers. Why did you choose Southern?
Well, when you have Ohio State and Georgia, people ask me that question a lot of times, and thank God it worked out well. I had a couple of rings, and I can say, hey, it worked out regardless of the fact. But this guy to my right, our dad died when I was 16. Marcus was 7 or 8, I believe. And he was behind us in sports. He ran the Little League organization called the Bandits, along with several other prominent men in the community, Glen Oaks area. So when that happened, Ohio State looked good, don't get me wrong. University of Georgia definitely looked good, and Southern Miss and Louisiana Tech. But, with the way crime was starting to pick up, he was only 8, drugs were starting to pick up in the neighborhood, and you can see little guys starting to sell drugs. And I wanted him to see me participate. I also wanted my family to participate. Ohio was a mighty long way. Georgia's a mighty long way when you look at 6.5, 7 hours trying to get there. So it all worked out. A lot of people say you were crazy, that he made a bad decision, and I don't think there's any bad decision. You just need to make one and keep moving forward. So as you can see, he turned out to be an outstanding high school player, because he was still, in middle school. And then he turned out to be a decent to above average college student player. So, and then he went on to the NFL, and that's when I looked at it and said, you know what, he made it. Our dad is in heaven smiling. I stayed, and I would like to think that I was an integral part of his life. I would like to believe that. So, and we've never had an argument. We've never had a fight. We've never had too many disagreements.
Until now, that is.
Well, we're gonna battle it out. Well, we played a few times. When I was at Scotlandville, he was just getting on board with Southern Lab, and we played a couple of times there. And then I went over to Baker, and he got at us pretty good with that same Southern Lab team. And we were just getting off the ground. So it's been competitive. It's been fun. We've had a great life as brothers, and our mom. I always say we always still trying to make our mom proud of us. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Marcus, tell us about, when you went to LSU. Tell us about that Bluegrass Miracle.
Right. Choosing LSU, that was a series of different things that went on. Actually, they wasn't the number one choice. Actually, when we first started out, Coach Jerry Dernardo was still there, and I remember us going to the Florida game. It was pouring down rain, and went in there, and I kind of seen it, and really didn't get the feel that I was looking for. So I kept my recruiting open, and then basically Nick Saban came in around that end of the year, and actually I went to first talk to him. My brother and my mom actually came to the game at McKinley High School. I remember we were playing basketball, and they were like, look, man, I know we were looking at some other schools.
Auburn, right?
Auburn, Florida. Man, I think you really need to sit down and listen to what they're saying. They came by the house, and they had, great pitch, great things that they plan on doing, not just on the field, but off the field things. And so made that decision and didn't look back. And I think that was one of the best decisions I made. Saban came in, and he always said, and he told a lot of recruits, especially the ones from Louisiana, you're not making a 4-year decision, you're making a 40-year decision. And as you see it, I haven't played since 04, but a lot of those same things that went on in that time is still relevant to this day. And like you said, I still get recognized for a lot of things that went on at LSU. So the statement that he made about a 40-year commitment, that was true.
Well, speaking of the 4-year commitment, and your commitment to your brother and everything, I wanted to make you guys both the head coaches for this year's bowl game. You know, I respect both of you guys. You both do have great programs. Woodlawn High School and Baker High School, you guys have built great programs. You went to second or third round this year in the playoffs. Third round of the playoffs this year, and you guys are building a great program over at Woodlawn. This year, bowl game, we have 114 commitments, 57 guys per team. We've got some of the greatest athletes in the state of Louisiana. A lot of guys went under the radars. But the average size of the offensive line is 6'4", 300 pounds. Average size of defensive line is 6'2", 285 pounds. So we've got a lot of size in this game. We've got a lot of guys that are just like, you know, eager, hungry, you know, that spirit you guys had coming out of high school. You know, that's why I wanted you guys to coach this game.
Well, one good thing we talked about, we've had the opportunity to both play an All-Star game, Louisiana High School Athletic Association All-Star game. I don't even know if they still have that contest, but at any rate, you know, it's going to go fast. You're going to have some great players there. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to tell you what, it's going to be exciting when looking at the guys that have chosen to come out to participate on both sides. I think you may have maybe a little lopsided, but we'll see. You know, we'll see when we get there. But I think you have some fine athletes that's going to get out there and get after. I think some guys are going to get themselves a second look. You know, another opportunity to play in front of scouts. Why not come to Louisiana? Because LSU can only get 24. You know, McNeese can only get 24. There are tons of athletes in the state of Louisiana, and you'll see that on next Saturday, the 28th.
You both have players from your high schools are going to be playing it. You have your running back and a cornerback, wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Jalen Pendleton and Desmond Whitney.
Desmond Whitney. You have several of your guys. You have a wide receiver, a DB, and an offensive lineman, Quentin Ross.
Chris McNair and Caleb Blanchard.
Caleb Blanchard. So you guys are going to have one final shot to coach your seniors up. Yep. How does that make you feel?
It feels good. I mean, basically to see your guys go on to try to still live out their dreams and reach their goals that they have on continuing their athletic career as well as their academic career. So I mean, you know, coaching those guys for one last time, that's going to be an honor, and also coaching the rest of the guys that's in the game. I mean, this is the first time I would be able to get a chance to coach a college type of team where you got talent at every position and you're not trying to fill certain guys in and putting guys in certain positions that may not fit that position, but you have to just because that's all you have on your team. So, you know, being able to go in with true offensive linemen and true linebackers and being able to coach those guys up and have them go out and perform.
You guys, you know, speaking of college atmosphere, we do have guys like Kenny Cardell, Burt Hale, Jabbar Triplett. Those guys are Division I FBS prospects. They already committed, I think, either today or by January or February. They will be committing to those schools. You know, Jabbar's going to Arizona, I believe it is. Burt Hale is going to Louisiana Tech, and Kenny Cardell is going to Les Miles, Kansas.
Right.
So we are going to have those type of guys at the game. And you guys have also coached other high schools before Baker and before Woodlawn, and you guys have a chance to keep coaching those guys. I know we talked about Mike Wicker yesterday. He just committed to the bowl game.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him get that opportunity to come out and participate because he was a good one. I think you may have coached him at Southern Lab.
Coached him on Southern Lab.
Yeah.
But I saw him play, you know, all the way through the youth leagues with the Rams.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you also coach CJ Golden.
Golden, yep.
He's coming from Rapid. He's now at Parkview Baptist, and he's coming to the game. So we have a lot of talent.
Yeah, correct.
It's going to be fun to watch. You know, one thing about it, as you stated, you can't. How are you going to manage those 2 days of getting the input of offense, defense, and the special teams in? That's going to factor in pretty big too. That's why I was asking, did you get your numbers? And so we're rolling over here on the other side. We're ready to roll with practice plans and so forth. I don't know the time duration, but we'll talk about that. But being in this All-Star game means a lot. I want to thank Louisiana Gridiron magazine for not only allowing us to coach, but to for all these kids to come around. You guys don't have to do this. And anytime you give young people another opportunity, you have to tip your hat to those that were responsible for that. So I want to thank you guys for having it. I told you my mom probably going to have a bus coming down. They're going to have a whole bus of people coming, 52 passengers. So
around the crew part too.
Yeah. So we're really excited. You talk about all these coaches that we have along with the players. It's just going to be a star-studded weekend. It have not hit me yet because we're still in school, but I can't wait.
Well, next Thursday we have Charles Scott coming. He's going to go give an opening address. We have the mayor of Pineville is going to be there. He's going to open up and talk to these young men. Both of you guys have opportunity to talk to these young men about their future and going forward after high school. We also have several Hall of Famers. You're one of them. But we have guys like Fred Washington. He's a head coach down in New Orleans.
Yep.
He's in the minor league Hall of Fame. You got C.J. Maiden. He's in the Hall of Fame. We have guys like Darren Moore, who's a head coach at Pineville. We have Coach Bachman, head coach at Ash. We have Coach Shriver, head coach at St. Edmund. A lot of head coaches. A lot of guys across the state of Louisiana want to participate in this. James Taylor from up at General Trask. Coach Collins from Lakeside. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
I don't know how you keep up with all the names.
Coach,
I don't know how you keep up with all the names.
It's funny. When I was in the military, I used to look up to you guys. I saw you, at Bluegrass Miracle when I was in Afghanistan. So you guys are big heroes for me. So I actually memorize all this stuff because it means something to me.
Right.
I tell every kid, you have the ability in your head to actually memorize stuff. If I can memorize names and stats and everything, you can memorize 1 + 1, 2 + 2. A + B = C squared. So yeah. It is what it is. This is going to be a great game. We've got some great guys. Not just the star-studded offense. Players, but coaches as well. This is a Louisiana event, and then that's what we want to build this into. Is a Louisiana event.
Well, I'll tell you what, again, for those colleges that are still looking for players, this is a great opportunity to come to Louisiana at this time. I mean, you still have, I know this is early signing today, however, you have about, 2 months left before the regular signing. So, those guys, like you say, I know for our kids, we have to recycle them 2 and 3 ways. So, you may not see that best defensive tackle in him because he has to play some offensive line as well. And then he may have to go out there on some special teams as well, too. So he's not as fresh as a kid that's being platooned or a team that's platooning kids in and out. So this will give him a good opportunity. I know for my guy, with Pickle, he played on both sides, but he's 300 pounds. He'll probably end up playing defensive line at the next level. And he doesn't have a whole lot of looks. I got it back. He's another All-Star game. I'm sorry. Better cut.
No, you're good.
Okay, he's another All-Star game. But Jalen Pendleton, a quick story, and I don't want to just talk about my kids, but that kid a couple of years ago was shot, and we got him back in. We got his grades where he needed to be. He worked his tail off all summer to try to finish out. He has a kid. And, that's what I'm there for. I know I'm probably not going to win a state title anytime soon, if I would ever win one at all. But to win these kids' lives, to watch them turn around and go in a new direction, to believe in themselves, I just can't wait to see them play along with these other kids, And like I said, they deserve the opportunity. Desmond Wyndham, he's one of the, in my opinion, one of the better running backs. He'll get a chance to run behind a solid line and just play just play offense instead of having to go play defensive back as well. So I know we talked about that, but this is going to be exciting. I can't say anything else, but I'm trying not to get too worked up before next Thursday, really.
So let's calm down for 1 second, and I want to tell you guys the rules.
Okay.
So there are rules in this game. I don't want no kid getting hurt. So there is no blitzing.
Okay.
We will be playing 15-minute quarters, so I want to have a real college feel. We will not rush the kicker. We will not rush the punter. We don't want nobody getting hurt. But we will return punts and we will return kickoffs. Outside of that, you guys can run any offense you guys want, as long as there's no fullbacks or no leads. No power.
Okay.
Defense, we will run a 4-man front. That way, the defensive linemen have a chance to get in there and play. Now, on defense, you can run any kind of stunts you want on the defensive line. So you want to do twists, you want to do pinches, anything you want to do up front, you can do that. However, there's no blitzing from the linebacker or the cornerback spot or safeties. The coverages, you can run any coverage you want. Last year we only limited to cover 1. This year, any coverage. Kids play football.
Okay.
Show their talent. So that's the rules for the game. Any questions?
No, I think sound good. You take the leads out because it's pretty rough, but I like the rules. The rules are the rules.
Right. We want to try to keep the kids as healthy as possible.
Right.
So that's the game. Well, again, I want to thank you guys for agreeing to coach this year's game. It's going to be a lot of fun starting next Thursday. We kick off at 9 o'clock in the morning. Start, all the kids start showing up. I did tell the staff at the hotel, make sure you order extra pancakes.
There you go.
They ran out last year and they had to go bake some more. So this year we have a lot more guys. So it starts off at 9 o'clock. We do the registration. We'll have our coaches meeting, and then the kicks off at noon. If you're watching, show up to the game. We'd love to have you guys show up at Pineville, Louisiana. The game will be played at 5 o'clock on Saturday at Louisiana College. Yes, I know. Let's get it out of the way real quick. LSU starts at 3. LSU will be over by 4. Okay, they're playing Ohio was it Oklahoma? You played them. You played them, didn't you?
03.
Yeah, you played a national championship. What quarter do you predict? Think LSU will be over?
Going into halftime, I think it'll be pretty much done. Yeah.
So at LSU halftime, they should be able to turn the TV off, come over to the game over Pineville,
Come on over, celebrate.
And celebrate the win and celebrate a bowl game with these kids. I'm Andrew Bryson, owner of Louisiana Grando Football. We thank you for joining us today.